Hey, Itaewon Sammy here. Post-typhoon Monday morning. My next vlog. What a weekend. What a day. We just had the tail end of a tropical storm come through this morning. So there's a little lull in the rain. It was pouring rain earlier when I was driving to the bus stop. So I drive my scooter to the bus stop and then I take the bus. I'm in Goyang again today. So yeah, the tail end of that storm whipped through Seoul today. What's left of a typhoon. It's just a tropical storm now, scattered showers. As you can see, I mean, like, look at that. Clear skies in one section and then dark skies in another like over there it's dark, and over there it's really bright. So yeah, today I wanted to talk about tattoos, tattoo culture in Korea. And oh, by the way, I'm going to do a subscriber thank you later on. I have a whole bunch of subscribers and commenters that I want to say thank you to. So you guys, you know who you are, but I'm going to make a shout out to you all. As well, I'm going to be posting some videos from my other channel onto this channel. So they're a little bit more flashy, a little bit more edited. But I'm not going to have a lot of time to post content this month because I'm really busy. So I'm borrowing videos that I made on my other channel. I'm going to put them on here. So anyway, if you like, please subscribe. I really appreciate it. And if you like, you know, click that thumbs up button and post a comment. Post a comment. I will answer all comments. I don't have a lot, so I have time to do that. So please do so. I appreciate it. Anyway, tattoos in Korea. So the tattoo culture, I have tattoos. I have one here. It says, learn to live life, don't let life live you. I'll explain that in a little bit. That was my third tattoo. I have right here, it's a like a power button. That was my first tattoo. And then below that I have, in Korean, it says never again. And then on my arm, right here, can't do it with, let's see if I can do this. I have, yeah, I can't see it. So anyway, I have my motorcycle club insignia on there. So you can't really see my tattoos because they're kind of hidden, except when I wear a short sleeve shirt. But again, they're on the inside of my arm. So it's not really on the outside. So tattoos are, Korea's a very conservative country, and tattoos are still viewed in Korea as taboo amongst the older generation, as in any country. It is still technically illegal to tattoo someone. Tattoo artists are illegal. You must be a doctor to do tattoos. You have to have a doctor's license. So tattoo artists can be charged with a criminal offense. A couple years ago they tried to do a tattoo show. It was originally allowed and then shut down halfway through by the police. So that's the legal. Sorry for the wind noise. It's, again, this typhoon coming through, but it is nice and cool today. No humidity, or very low humidity. Anyway, squirrel! I had a comment from another friend about how I diverge off a tangent and then I forget where I was and don't go back. So let's go back to tattoos. Very conservative country. Tattoos are looked down upon. Like in Japan and Korea, you cannot go to a public sauna if you have tattoos, or people look at you. Now, that being said, if you go to Hongdae, if you go anywhere where there are young people, you will see girls with tattoos on their shoulders, on their collarbone. Really, like, not garish looking, not dirty looking, but nice, petite, cute little tattoos. Usually a word, something like right here, or I've seen it on their arms, but nothing like heavily tattooed like a biker girl or something like that. So those are little ones. On, like, I'm saying 25-year-old, 28-year-olds. And then you have the younger girls, the college girls, and I've seen some pretty heavily tattooed. And then there's the guys. My goodness. The guys are heavily tattooed, right up to their neck. Their arms just covered. I've seen a lot of neck tattoos, like coming right up to here, like here. And I'm like, you know, I'm a pretty liberal guy, but even that, I'm like, yeah, you wouldn't catch me doing that. I'm gonna get a couple more tattoos on my shoulders and on my arms, but nothing on my face or my hands, nothing on the outside of my body. Like the outside, it's all gonna be on the inside, like the inner part of my arm, or covered by a shirt, like here or here. So anyway, yeah, that is interesting to see these kids with heavily tattooed. And the tattoos here in Korea are a little bit different. The tattoos here in Korea are patch. They do patches. They don't do like sleeves like they do in the West, and not a lot of color. It's mostly like they'll do a, you know, one here, one here, one here, one here, something like that. It's not really the design that I like is like the full sleeve with lots of colors and stuff like that. They do a lot of patchwork. Anyways, I'm gonna continue this video in 1 minute. Be right back. And I'm back. Just finished my class, so I had to take a quick edit there. So tattoos. Yeah, as I was mentioning, you can't really go anywhere in public. Well, you can't. Sorry. You can't go to a sauna with tattoos. It's getting more accepted is what I'm feeling, but in conservative areas like outside Seoul, you're gonna get stared at, and you're gonna probably, as a foreigner, no one's gonna bother you, but as a Korean, you're gonna get maybe confronted by an older person, especially if you're a girl. I've seen it happen. So yeah, that's tattoos. Now, here's the funny thing. My opinion on tattoos is I love them. I think, especially on a woman, a sleeve tattoo or a very colorful, large tattoo, to me is stunningly beautiful. I mean, I have a couple of female friends who I am just infatuated with, to say for a better word. I mean, they're beautiful girls, they're lovely human beings, but this one girl I know, she's got beautiful back tattoo, colorful, lots of colors, and you know, as a Korean, she's got very white skin, and just puts her over the top in my eyes, in my preference. All right, so that, I mean, I'm just saying from my preference. So and back in Canada, I knew a lot of girls with tattoos like that, full sleeves, you know, just absolutely beautiful. For me, it has to have a lot of color, a lot of blues and reds. To me, that's attractive. You know, a biker tattoo black on a girl, it depends on how well it's done and what it is. So here's my opinion on tattoos, is that this generation has ruined tattoos. In my opinion. Here's my reasoning why. When I was in my 20s, 30 years ago, so in the 80s and 90s, if you had a tattoo, you were scary. You know, you were either a biker or a criminal. You know, today, everyone's got them. And if you're heavily covered in tattoos, you're probably a musician or in the entertainment industry, because that's really the only job you can do with a tattoo in today's society. Maybe in the future that might be different, but you're not going to be working on Wall Street. You're not going to be working in customer service with a lot of neck tattoos. You're going to be working in a bar, a club, entertainment industry, or arts industry, or fashion industry, something like that, where it's acceptable. So yeah, if you see someone in their 20s with a lot of tattoos, I'm not scared of you. If I see somebody in their 50s with a tattoo, yeah, that's someone I'm not going to mess around with. You know, that's somebody who's lived a long, either a criminal or in jail, or biker or something like that. So I mean, that's basically why I believe this generation has ruined tattoos, is because they're no longer have that element of exclusivity. You know, when I was in my young man, you know, teens, young man, it was piercings. The more piercings you had, the more taboo you were. You know, tattoos weren't even a thing that you would even consider. You know, I remember I was 16. I got my first ear pierced when I went to Europe. I got my ear pierced in Europe. I went on summer vacation to Europe. I came back home to Canada, and my mother still told me, got so upset that I had my ear pierced. Now, I had many more piercings as I grew up. And I remember I was about 28 and I had my tongue pierced. The next day I went for lunch. I met my family for lunch, and my mother was just shaking her head at me, like totally disappointed. Now, at that time I was working in an office, but I would take it out when I was working in the office and put it back in at night and on weekends. That's something you can change when you have to go to work. But when I got my first tattoo, she was just like, and then my recent tattoo on my shoulder, my biker emblem, when she saw, I didn't even tell her. She saw it last year when I was on vacation, and she didn't say anything. She just shook her head. My dad doesn't comment, but anyway, you know, I'm 50 years old. I get to do what I want, but my parents still feel like they can comment. But yeah, so that's tattoos. You're not gonna get not as bad as Japan. Japan is very strict. They actually, I'm not 100% sure, but I've heard that it's actually against the law to have tattoos. So I'm not sure about that. Maybe somebody can comment, one of my Japanese friends, or I can follow up with one of my Japanese friends and find out. So in Korea, it's not against the law to have a tattoo, but in the conservative society that they are, people are not comfortable with them. And especially considering that it's a highly, predominantly older generation, older people. There are more older people than there are younger people in this country. It's a very old country. So they're the ones in power, and they're the ones that don't like it. So if you have tattoos, you're not going to get a lot of problems, especially if you're a foreigner. Getting tattoos here is very easy, and there's a lot of good artists. It's technically illegal, but you're not going to get into trouble. It's one of those laws that's overlooked. Unless you're blatantly doing it on a public street, you're not going to get in trouble. There's a great culture of tattoo artists in Seoul. So anyway, that's my story for today. Itaewon Sammy, living life, and I'm out.